The rise and fall of Todd and Julie Chrisley includes bankruptcy, fame, and incarceration. Atlanta real estate mogul Todd Chrisley boasts that his family spends roughly $300,000 a year and sometimes more on apparel while giving the cameras a tour of his immaculately kept wardrobe in the 2014 premiere of Chrisley Knows Best. Chrisley, his family, and his wife Julie Chrisley gained notoriety for flaunting their lavish lifestyle on their USA Network TV program. Reality has finally caught up with the reality TV family less than 10 years later. I have been reading a lot and praying a lot with my prayer partner, and I honestly believe that there is a reason for the journey we are all doing. On the most recent episode of the Chrisley Family podcast, Chrisley Confessions, Julie Chrisley stated that there was a reason. Julie Chrisley received a 7-year sentence while Todd Chrisley received a 12-year prison term. They will both serve 3 years of probation following their release. They have been told to report to prison in mid-January to start serving their sentences, a long cry from the opulent settings for which they are famous. Julie Chrisley has been instructed to go to a facility in Lexington, Kentucky, even though the Chrisleys were originally scheduled to serve their sentences in Florida. In Pensacola, Florida, a federal jail will receive Todd Chrisley. On their podcast, Todd Chrisley said, "I think the real growth happens at the darkest part of the sorrow. I think we ought to hold to God more tightly the harder things get." Here is a list of Chrisley's highs and lows. After getting married, Todd and Julie Chrisley have son Chase as their first child. Savannah, the daughter, is born the next year. 2012. After receiving a breast cancer diagnosis, Julie Chrisley had a double mastectomy. In a 2018 interview with The Tennessean, she subsequently remarked on the support her husband provided throughout her treatment. She told the publication, "I genuinely believe that event moved our friendship to a whole other level." 2014. In March, Chrisley Knows Best premieres, showing the family's affluent way of life. Prosecutors would subsequently assert that the two were having financial difficulties behind the scenes. 2016. Chloe, the daughter of Kyle Chrisley and Angela Johnson, is given to the pair custody 1 year after her birth. Years later, Kyle disclosed his substance misuse issue in a Facebook post. "They have supported me despite the fact that I haven't always been Chloe's best father. I've struggled with drugs, and I've behaved inexplicably," he wrote in August 2019. 2016 November, Todd Chrisley wins the Reality King Prize at the American Reality Television Awards as the show's popularity rises. June 2018. The historic 100th episode of Chrisley Knows Best airs. The couple's podcast, Chrisley Confessions, premieres its first episode on the iHeartRadio network in August. July 2019. Charges against the couple include bank fraud and tax evasion. Todd Chrisley disputes the accusations, claiming that he and his wife were set up by a former coworker, and that they have nothing to hide. May 2022. The government claims in the opening remarks of the Chrisleys' federal trial that they lied about their income to banks and borrowed more than $30 million that they were unable to repay. According to an insider article, the Chrisleys accuse a former worker of deceiving them in their opening statement. June 2022. The Chrisleys, according to the prosecution, failed to submit tax returns from 2013 to 2016 and concealed millions of dollars in income from the IRS from their TV show. The Chrisleys are found guilty on all counts in a federal court in Georgia following a 3-week trial. June 2022. The couple is placed under electronic surveillance and house arrest until their sentencing. 2022 September. The two's sentencing is postponed until Nov. 21 after they submit a motion for a new trial. The judge rejects the joint motion. Nov. 2020.